This course is brought to you by AppyPie as part of our Academy series.
Let's talk about how to prevent people from deleting your app. In this video, I'm going to give you many methods, and all of it is going to boost your ASO, okay, positive App Store signals, and of course, by preventing deletion, you're going to retain users and have a chance to turn them into super users, people who spend, people who share. Okay, every person that you prevent from deleting, that's a small win for the longevity of your app. And I'm going to give you a lot of strategies starting now. Build anticipation of social interaction as the first tip. And by the way, not all these tips will apply to all apps. Obviously, if you don't have social interaction of your app, you got to use other tips. But if you can get friends to join their friends on the app, or make the app social, or get people to do something together on the app, right away people will hesitate when deleting, because they're going to think, oh, I don't want to lose contact with my friend. What about messages I have coming in, things like that. Also, you want to create anticipation. Maybe you're going to give away some prizes, some things, maybe something at the end of each season, like at summer, fall, spring, every year. Maybe there are some feature anticipations that you're going to hint at in the app description or inside the app. Hey, here are some things that are coming soon. You don't know, the people might not necessarily know exactly when. Is it in this month or next year? But features and benefits and coming prizes will get people to second guess if they want to delete. They're going to get second guess themselves and stop themselves from deleting. Also, if people do any kind of work on your apps, for example, in my apps, they create like to-do lists sometimes. Well, they don't want to delete their to-do list, so they keep the app. They might not even be using their to-do list, but just in case, that little voice in the back of your head, I might need it, I'm going to keep the app. And you want to create that little voice that just does enough to prevent people from deleting. Also, what you want to do is give value very quickly when people download your app. Create perfect and clear onboarding so people understand exactly how to use the app, and limit signups as much as possible. Many apps, especially made by first-time app entrepreneurs, they create a lot of forms, account creation, all that stuff. That's annoying for your users. I actually used to do it myself, and I noticed a huge improvement in engagement when I stopped collecting people's information too soon. In some cases, I admit it's going to be 100% necessary, but when it's not 100% necessary, decrease the form sizes, make it easier for people to quickly get into the app. Don't annoy them because they have so many options of other apps in the app stores that it's easier for them to just delete your app than to register in whatever form you're making them sign up. And they might not even want to give you their name and email. Don't do it if you can avoid it. Other things that you should consider doing that is going to help you decrease deletions are clear onboarding, clear usability, long-term value that you're going to give to people. And this is not just prizes and features, but actually think of how to make the app realistically give people value, be useful long-term. Are there some features that even if your app is not a long-term app necessarily, it just does something and then that's it? How do you kind of align it and make it suggestive for people to use your app long term? In my case, I had a business planning app. It's something people do once and they forget it, but I added to-do list, reminders, motivational stuff, content I would add so that people would anticipate the content, they would keep their reminders. So even if it wasn't necessarily a long-term use app, try to make it as much long-term as possible. Last tip, make your app not take too much physical space on the hard drive and not use too much RAM, because when people's phones start running out of battery or out of space, and the battery issue is something most people deal with at some point, they start deleting apps that take up their memory and waste their battery. So the smaller footprint your app can have, the less it's going to be at risk of deletion when people are looking for what apps to delete to boost their battery length. So try to use as many of these tips as possible. They're going to help you keep your users, which means better ASO. You make more money from those users. All the good things will come from using these strategies.